welcome to Anything and Everything with Team Unnamed. I'm your main host, Deb, joined by Wyatt.
Hello.
And a couple of guest hosts, but we're going to keep that a surprise for later, as this is our first episode with guest hosts. But first, there's two of us today. The other two, we don't know what's going on. We've been trying to plan around this for a while. We've been delaying with every excuse under the sun and a half. And we might have them back soon. This is more of a team development, but today on the show, we're going to talk about fitness and health. It's featuring our first guest host because, well, we knew a couple people who's really good with this stuff from our wonderful community. That's not sarcasm, I just sound like this. So Wyatt, what do you have anything to start with?
Not really.
Fitness is probably one of the greater trends of the 21st century, as, well, a lot of technological advancements have been in fitness. If you watch YouTube or TV even, you'll get an ad for some kind of thing that's like, oh, hey, new fitness bike or new electric bike so you can go biking on it. Or, I got a 45-minute ad yesterday about an electric bike on YouTube.
Damn.
Yeah, tell me about it. I'm like, why? Is it because I'm with Wyatt, who just recently acquired electric bikes? Like, is this your doing? But I just didn't care. But the other issue is that 45-minute ad. We're going to have to talk about that in its own episode, but everything that's going on. So, personally, I like fitness because there's many ways you can do it. You can take a walk, you can participate in sports, you can lift weights, work out, or you can ride a bike down a sidewalk and footfall off the pedal and slam your phone to the concrete, like some people.
Why do you have to say that?
Because I want to make fun of you. You finally did some kind of thing to your phone, and I'm gonna laugh. Yeah. So me and Wyatt, we frequent doing stuff for fitness because where we're at, we walk a lot. It's probably the most common form of fitness we partake because we have the option to do other things like record this podcast, but we're like, nah, we can wait until we have the rest of the guys. There's usually 4 of us when we go walking, and yeah, it's a fun thing. We've gone down, so anything to say, Wyatt, you're too quiet. Yes.
Dude. Good.
Dude, you're too quiet.
I really don't know right now.
What do you like to do for fitness when I'm not around? I'm very interested, because you never tell me anything.
Well, me and Mom has been going on the EV bikes.
You and your family.
Bikes.
You and your family go on electrical bikes. That's why I got that ad yesterday. I knew it.
Then, whenever I go to work with Dad, I'm always walking around and all that.
Do you help your father lift heavy stuff on job sites?
Rarely. Yesterday we lifted like more than 150-pound TV.
Sweet. Honestly, my fitness comes in the form of walking with you, riding bikes, participating in basketball, and lifting weights. I may not look like it, but I'm a guy that works out somehow. I think what I do most when I'm not with you is probably lifting because I'm just trying to get strong. And I help my family with work, and even then I'm still lifting heavy stuff too, so you're not wrong.
What weights do you lift?
It's really I'm a pretty good lifter. Most of my maxes are in triple digits, so I've got that to go, but lifting is probably a great one. Like powerlifting, because Brendan used to be a power lifter. Remember that? He mentioned
that would be a really good host to have on this podcast.
Yeah. Zach would probably have been the worst choice. Either way, we don't have Ben, we're improvising.
That is a definitely true statement.
So, on behalf of Brendan, if you remember the sports episode, he used to compete in powerlifting for school. And he was pretty good at it too. He still lifts to this day, if I'm correct.
Yeah, they got a entire lift machine not too long ago.
Really?
Yeah.
So, from the very first episode of Anything and Everything, if anyone remembers, we mentioned we would eventually bring on guest hosts. Well, today is that day because there's 2 of us, so we brought 2 guest hosts from the community, 2 fitness experts in our opinion. Wait, wrong button. No, not the music. We're trying to improvise so hard here, ladies and gentlemen. the first ever guest host on our show, fitness experts from our small hometown community,
Shannon and Jesse DeVault.
aka Wyatt's parents. You guys have anything to say?
Hi.
Hello.
So, these two are some experts of fitness in the community because, well, what do you guys do?
You mean in a
Like-
fitness or
Like
you talking about?
anything fitness like to do.
Really?
Okay, well, for starters, I'm a yoga teacher. I have taken a 200-hour course. I went through half of a 300-hour to create my 500-hour training, so I need to finish that. I wouldn't say we're experts. It's so, like,
Well,
you saying that, and I'm like,
well, how I
okay,
see it,
put
you're
some pressure on.
you're experts compared to the two of us,
Yeah.
and I think the other two would agree with that.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I teach yoga and I also work out regularly. I mean, I do weightlifting and all. We do beach body. We used to be active coaches.
I still am.
Well, yeah, my husband is an active coach with Beachbody, and so we like to follow their programs. They're really good because they lay out the program for you. So you got the workout. They tell you when to do it, how to do it. They give you a nutrition guide so you know what to eat, how to eat, when to eat.
Sounds like it's
Oh,
really
it's-
health. It's really healthy and beneficial in the long run.
It is.
That's good. What about you over here, Jesse? What do you do?
I just like going to the gym now and going and lifting heavy weights, pick things up and put it back down.
Helps you in the long run, huh?
You pick things up and put them down.
Well, it's a good thing this is a comedy show as well as a.
That's Shannon's Arnold Schwarzenegger routine there.
What? Let me guess. You'll be back.
I'll be back.
So Wyatt, do you work out with them frequently?
Me and Mom has started working out before, and then we've got into, we just stopped randomly, and then.
Like spring break and friends coming over and they take over my whole house.
we're
My
not,
whole schedule.
we're not sorry over here at Team Unnamed. And then you work with your dad. You lift heavy stuff sometimes.
Correct.
Fun. So, do you guys like ride bikes? Cause you happen to have a surplus that me and Wyatt use for our purposes. Do you ride?
Our e-bikes or our bicycles?
Any bike?
So we do have bicycles, and we do ride those. Like, mentioned before, we just got the e-bikes. And technically it's Jess and I got e-bikes. Wyatt just gets to ride them with me, even Jess is not one.
You
So-
lose, you lose, sir. Good day.
But it's funny because like the e-bikes are great to get out with the regular bicycle. With where we live, it's very hilly, so that can put a lot of pressure on your knees and stuff like that. I know it does for mine, going up hills and all. So the e-bikes
Hilly?
allow me to shift the gears and still work the bicycle and get the workout, but without the pain.
Hilly? I thought you said it was chilly. The weather here's been bipolar as heck.
Oh yeah.
Earlier this week, 60-some degrees, rainy. Today, 105. The weather lately's been an abomination.
It's pretty bipolar.
Yeah.
I'd make a bipolar joke, but that'd be a little too short-sighted of me. I'm not a penny. I'm not two-faced or worthless.
Oh.
How long were you a coach for, an active coach for?
That's a good question.
That's a good, even better
I
question.
think you were probably an active coach for probably about 3-4 years.
Yeah.
What
So
about-
like where I was very active and all working on it, and
What
then
I've been a coach for probably, 10.
yeah, 10, 11 years.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
We really do like in Beachbody. There's some other good ones out there, and all. This is just it's what works best for us with the programs. And like Jesse said, like he goes to the gym, but he's learned a lot of his stuff through Beachbody. So and then he's just picked it up and all.
So, on a quick side note, there was a point we brought up in a previous episode that I'm going to bring up in about 20 seconds. So on the subject of healthy eating, how do you feel that most food that is processed and not locally sourced, 90% corn or corn subsidies?
Alright.
Because recently, in a study and some reading I've been doing on my off time, I've learned that most food that you buy in a market that isn't locally grown or sourced is mostly corn or corn subsidies. So how do you guys take that, since you guys are healthy eaters?
So, it's correct. I mean, a lot of your processed food is just that it has, the fillers and everything else, such as, your corn and, all of that. But how do we take it? I think I've been very strict where, I just eat fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, meat, so on and so forth, and restricted myself from eating any of the processed foods. But it can be kind of hard.
They don't get you down. You still have ice cream once in a while.
Yeah. And so
today for Mother's Day she got ho-hos.
I did get ho-hos. I was going to say, I've done that, and so I've also, the point I'm at now is I don't keep it completely out of my life. I just limit it. So you just kind of have to find the balance that works best for you. I wouldn't suggest eating, just processed food diets or anything like that.
Chicken patties, burgers.
Yeah.
You got a problem with chicken patties?
No.
But
For context, this is an inside joke that would probably be better explained in our YouTube videos.
But stuff that you can get out and get at a fast food restaurant, stuff like that. That's where.
Yeah, that's why if I prefer to eat out, I prefer Subway, because even then it's not exactly healthy, but they're closest to the healthiest fast food I can get around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have any advice for anyone who starts out with fitness?
Well,
Everybody, when they start out, they really want to make those results. It takes time. It's nothing that's going to happen overnight. You have to work at it and be consistent with it, and with your meals and your workouts.
And the advice I would also give is, one of the things I see a lot is I need a partner. I need motivation. I need this. I can't do this on my own.
It takes two to tango.
Yeah. So find someone that you can be accountable with, but they don't have to match exactly what you're doing. So if you both have goals, help each other reach those goals. Like just kind of talking about them and just kind of staying in contact. How have you done on your stuff today? How have you done on yours? So with physical fitness, if you haven't been moving, just start small. Go bike riding. Start walking every day. 20-30 minutes of walking. If you're wanting to do weights, find a program. Start light. And just take it one day at a time. Don't stress over food or anything like that. There's so much information out there. I would just set 1 to 2 goals for yourself first.
That's very good advice, because I see people all the time saying, because they ask me how I go, and they're like, we don't see results. It's like, this thing takes time. You're not going to see me change into a whole different person in 2 days flat. No, this takes time. Even then, so if you lift weights, you lift heavy, or say you do bench press and it's triple digits your weight, and then you stop for a while and you get back and you try and push yourself, you're going to be sore. Don't push yourself too hard, because I've been sore. Wyatt, remember that time I showed up and I was really sore? Yeah. If you have limits, don't push yourself. Get close, but if it's starting to hurt, then I think your best advice is to rest for a bit, because I pushed myself before and I did not like what happened next.
I don't work out that much with weights and all, but I can tell you this: if you push yourself with heavier weights, and especially when you're coming back, you can really hurt yourself to the point to where it'll take longer for you to heal and then get back into it. So start out light and work your way back up to what you used to do.
Yeah, when I got back into it, a couple days ago even, I got back into it because I'm just trying to get better overall health, and I started low. So even though my max is in triple digits, I went as low as 75 when I got back in, which isn't much, but
Well, I think it depends on your goals as well for
Yeah.
yourself. I mean, if your
I'm not
goals
trying
are
to I'm not trying to just lift big. I'm just trying to get in a good condition. Just
Mhm.
Just general strength.
So that's consistency.
yeah, most people these days when they think workout, they think go big or go home.
Yeah.
And you don't have to work out every day. In fact, you should not work out every day. You need rest days, and you can have what they call active rest days, which is where you can go, if you're doing weightlifting and such like you're doing, your active rest days are, where you're stretching, taking walks, so on and so forth, because that's where your muscles are going to heal and repair and begin to work on the results that you're working towards.
That's very good advice. Honestly, in my opinion, when it comes to how I start getting back into things, I start slowly. Even I'm attempting to change things on my diet so it can work better with me, and I'm walking more, or even riding bikes. Like, just last time when we met, when me and Wyatt planned this episode, the original run, we rode some bikes, we had some fun.
Yeah.
And this fool's foot slipped off the pedal and slammed his phone to the concrete. I'm gonna do it to you. You didn't even realize it until we got the subway. We were like, oh hey.
Yeah, I looked on my phone. I looked at the screen before. I didn't see anything. Got the subway, and I was at that perfect angle where you could see like fingerprints and all that, the oils from your hands on your phone screen. I could see the cracks on the screen. I was like, oh, great.
Honestly, I think fitness is probably one of the better things we've talked about so far, mostly because it's the most beneficial. It's not controversial. I haven't seen a lot of news on fitness lately. Believe it or not, I did some research for this episode lately over the past couple days. It has been hard to find stuff because the internet's mostly been swarmed by other stuff going on right now, which, again, we're going to talk about in a next episode with the rest of the crew because, yeah, all of us need to be here because we've all got our own takes and we've all done our research. But I think it's better to be, it'd probably be better if I was in a healthier state, not just getting easily exhausted. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
remember when we got back from Subway, how I was just dead? I just slumped down on the couch. I was like, my legs.
He got back and he was like, my legs hurt.
I didn't get up from that couch for a solid 2 hours. I just sat there, rested, and
Played Xbox.
hey, it wasn't my fault the windmill was there. That's context for a video we're
Maybe you
working on.
should ride the bikes to Subway more often.
That's
It'll
probably
help
good
work
advice.
out your cardiovascular.
The sad thing is, I did research on the cardiovascular system lately for other projects I've been working on, and even then, I didn't find nothing that would be useful right about now.
Riding a bike doesn't affect me too much.
You've been working out longer. You're in a more fit condition than I am.
Well, my legs are in a stronger condition than the rest of my body, dude. Because it started when I was like 7 or so. Me and my cousin Junior would every day would go out and ride bikes around our neighborhood. And Junior was stronger at the time, and he would push me to go up the hills. And he wouldn't let me get stopped and walk the bike up the hill, so I would have to push through.
That sounds like your cousin. He was always encouraging.
Yeah, it was the opposite with the two of us. I got off the bike and I walked. You couldn't tell me otherwise. It was either that or I just ended up sideways on the ground. And I have ended up sideways on something completely broken. Remember that picture with the bench? I think for context, I'm going to edit this picture in, but there was a picture me and Wyatt did a couple weeks ago that we were at a festival, there was a bench, I sat on it, and then I realized something was wrong. The bench wasn't in the ground, it was laying down. It was unknown how we just did it, but yeah.
There was a glitch.
Lag. Good times. But yeah, I think I'm gonna push myself more often when we go biking, so I don't get off that bike. Otherwise, I'm probably regretting it in the end. So Wyatt, when you started biking, could you say like your cousin was your workout partner, like that what was said earlier, like find a partner to help you be accountable?
Correct.
Why don't you tell us about that?
So my cousin Junior, he was much stronger. I mean, much stronger than me. I mean, much stronger. I mean, all around. He was stronger in arms, legs, core, all that. But over time, when we started riding a bike and riding the bikes and all, we were going up all the hills, all that, and I know he purposely did it. He would purposely take me all over the hills and all, and basically did not tell. He told me, "Do not get off that bike." Within first maybe week, I would be easily getting off the bike. Then second week, he started encouraging me on it. And when he started encouraging me, within 2 weeks, I was getting off the bike less often. And that's because I had someone encouraging and actually what's the word I'm looking for?
Holding you accountable?
Yeah, he's holding me accountable on
And pushing you.
how, like, don't give up on this. You're not going to get stronger. That's why I tell you whenever you do it, do not get off that bike. You push, even if your side hurts, still push. Because if you bike more, if you do often, that pain will go away.
Yeah, and at that moment, I gave you my number one finger. And by number one, I mean the middle.
Yeah.
You know, a wise man once said, survival of the fittest. I said, health or Darwinian fitness, because that could go two ways. That's an inside joke, but do you regret anything from that, or Junior, or like, did you stop and regret anything, or is there anything you would change about that?
If there's anything, at first I was like you. He was encouraging me on the first week also, but I kept getting off. I wasn't listening to him. So if I would change something, I would have been listening to him on the first week.
Interesting. Well, I guess I should hold you more account. I mean, have you hold me more account. Totally not hold you account. But I guess I'll take your word. If it works for you, well, you're in a better state now than I am.
No, it depends on it depends on your mental state. If you think I can't do this on doing something, you're not gonna do it.
You know, right now my mental state is Texas.
It's a great mental state.
It is a great mental state.
Anyways,
Fine
continue.
out there.
It's a hot mental state. It's a hot mess.
Guys, I know I'm a hot mess, but you don't know to talk about me like that.
We didn't do it. We didn't start
In
it.
editing, I'm just laughing at myself.
If you go and say, if you set a goal, top of the hill, make it top of the hill.
Small goals.
Set, and you get to the top of the hill, set another goal farther down the road. It helps. It keeps you in that mental state of, that's my final destination. You keep putting more and more final destinations, and more final destinations you put, more harder you work yourself, and you can strengthen it.
I can tell you, I personally, truly, absolutely, insanely despise running. But I've done it.
I'm not
Here
going to
and
run unless something's chasing me and I ain't got my gun.
American 100.
With that being said, what you were saying is true, because when I was doing, running, I'm trying to get to a certain point by a certain time, or, like runners do. And so if I was at the bottom of a hill, I would see like someone's mailbox or, like their trash can or something, because I would do it in the neighborhood. So I would just focus
Kick
on
the
that
can.
mailbox, like just get there, just
Yeah.
get there, just get there.
Like, just get past this.
No,
Get
no,
to
no,
that
I think
point,
it's-
and it helped me. It would help me get further.
I
So
think the better way to say it is just run through the trash can, just obliterate it.
I'm not running through.
You know,
no trash
I run.
can.
You know, I
You can
run.
run through a trash
All right,
can.
I'll do the real context before I do my joke. But I actually run when I'm doing basketball and stuff because it's a very physical sport, and you need to be fast, otherwise it ain't really good. But I also, another reason I run is running away from fitness.
Bam.
I can't actually relate to that. I was in upwards basketball when I was younger.
I remember that.
Now, I wasn't the best at it, at making goals. I wasn't the best at making goals or getting the ball or anything, but I would try and find the positions that I can easily get past to.
You know, fitness is mostly about never giving up, never letting your partner down, never running around and
We
deserting
don't
them.
need a Rick Ashley reference.
Oh, come on! It's the best one I've got!
And
More or
find
less.
a fitness that you enjoy. If you don't like it, get rid of it. Find a new thing.
I don't think
Yeah.
fitness isn't really about the destination, but maybe it's just about the journey and the friends made along the way,
Correct.
and the memes I've made through this entire episode. I was gonna get away with something, and if it wasn't the Rickroll joke, it would have been this one. So, alright, I'm gonna say this. We broke one of our own sacred rules. No stereotypes. It was an unspoken one, but we've been stereotyping fitness as what you eat and working out. Can someone please explain what real fitness is? Because we just stereotyped the heck out of everything.
Okay, so I don't think you stereotyped it, but I can understand what you're saying, because we just talked about two aspects of it. There's many different ones for health and fitness. I mean, it's taking care of your body physically. It's taking care of your body nutritionally, which is about the foods and everything that you drink.
There are different forms of fitness.
Well, there's so many different types of fitness. You can go kayaking, bicycling, weightlifting, running, walking,
Elliptical bike.
gymnasts. There's all kinds of stuff but and different ways and diets out there to maintain your nutritional health. But then there's also your mental health. So that plays a huge role in it's going to play a huge role even the way you work out and the way you eat. Taking care of yourself is also taking care of, sorry, I'm stuttering here.
No, you're fine.
Managing your daily life. So if you got a lot of stresses going on, or you're just super busy and you're not giving yourself time to rest, stuff like that. That's all things that you need to take into account as well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're absolutely right. Would you say taking care of yourself mentally would also work in health and fitness?
Absolutely. It's part of it.
Ah, yes.
It's part of it. So
Every little thing is what counts, huh?
yes. So the mentally, the daily, the stresses, all that is part of the health.
Everything.
Yes.
Well,
One way my stress is actually pretty low. I can tell you that. And one way I've managed it is I don't let too many things go. I don't think about too many things. So even though I have like 15, 20 things in my head, I will only focus on one and put on music to keep me focused on that one until it's done.
a study was
You're not a female. So I guess I stereotyped. I'm sorry. I'm a mom.
But yes.
It happens.
A study conducted a while ago showed that working and listening to any kind of music that calms you down reduces stress and actually works better because it makes the mind more adaptive to learning and it makes it easier to grasp information. Some schools implement this technique when they allow students to actually have their own music so they can absorb the information easily, and it'll show. It shows like testing records have proven it and stuff. A couple teachers I asked around a while ago for a unrelated project, they've said that when they encourage music listening across students, it really helps effectively. And this can be practiced in business, anything. So, yeah. So it's a really great form of keeping mental health because it can de-escalate stress levels really well.
Now, one thing is make sure you don't put on anything that can be distracting to you.
Yeah.
Put on.
That means you can't be listening to heavy metal or Doom Eternal soundtrack, because I already know the gamers out there would say that.
Because if you
That's
put
all
on
I listen to when I work out.
Heavy metal?
Uh-huh.
Huh.
See, but then
That's a different aspect.
there's a different.
There's a difference
So
there.
we're talking about schoolwork, right?
Well,
There's-
it also music helps with anything when you're fitness. So he does have a point. Heavy metal can probably help him get that one extra rep.
Correct, because the heavy metal is a fast beat and all to help get through, and it helps keep your heart rate up. But when you're learning and all, you want to stay calm, be able to process, eat better. So you want to listen to not as fast beat stuff like that, maybe like country, something like that. That way it's
Well, they have music out there that is, for focus or
Huh.
calm and stuff like that.
Hey, you know what? Try telling that to Zach. He's not gonna listen. He's still gonna listen to heavy metal.
Zach just doesn't listen to us.
You know? Okay, so
But
do
I
you,
mean, if it works for him,
all right. Do you have any tips for the other two members who aren't here, probably listening to this episode?
maybe some Q-tips so they can hear it.
Oh! Hey, could you please say that a little bit louder?
I said maybe some Q-tips so they could hear it.
Ooh! Yeah, I'm
They could
definitely,
listen to the podcast.
I'm definitely gonna
You
edit that
do-
one in.
You guys just got roasted
Zach, you're
like
two.
the special guest.
Zach, you're 2 for 2 on getting roasted. Come on, man. You gotta step up your game.
I'll have extra pizza when y'all come back.
That's not very healthy.
It'll be a
Right.
cauliflower crust.
Right.
Anyways,
With
When
some
we're all here, we also walk and play pool, all that. So we're also burning off all that. So
Y'all do. Y'all
That's-
are pretty active.
That's
You're
another-
pretty balanced.
that's another thing about fitness. If you can eat all this bad stuff,
you can
but
work.
make sure you're active to burn it off. Because if
Wait, how do you?
if the sugars from that food you eat, or if you eat the sugars that you eat and all that aren't there, that will build up and not.
Well, yeah, you're right, but just to go into that, you can't eat nothing but bad stuff. You can't outwork a bad diet. You just can't.
Exactly.
So, even though I said pizza, which I would give y'all pizza because you're teenagers
Fully
and some
agree.
teenagers just have this thing with pizza. But I also cook other food. So, you can't eat all the bad stuff and then go work it off. But you
Technically,
can
with
have...
pizza, you get your dairy, your veggies, and your
Protein.
protein
And
at
your
the same, and
greens.
carb.
And it really just depends on what you have on your pizza, y'all.
I like where you're going.
So,
You know what?
you
Answer
can have processed food pizza.
Answer me one important question.
You don't want
Wyatt.
that.
How do you burn off this stuff when we're under a burn ban? Last time you said burn something. Well, for context, somehow editing the last episode, my computer got so hot, I got a notification saying it was hotter than the surface temperature of the sun. Have you ever seen those where it's like a computer's notification glitches so bad, it'll say like surface temperature of the sun?
No, I have not seen that, and that's the first time hearing of that type of message.
Oh, but I guess I'm gonna edit that in later. This
So
is
you're fine.
this has been wonderful. This is swell. You know what else is swell? Never giving up on fitness. Never letting your partner down.
That's swole.
Alright,
It is.
you win this round.
All right.
Well, I think that's been enough for today. Thank you so much, Jesse and Shannon, for joining us for the first guest episode of Anything and Everything. And with that, me and Wyatt have a couple closing notes before we're going to tie this one off. For starters, yeah, the other two have been gone for a while. Where's the time been? They've been busy working on their own stuff. Well, Zach's been in between a rock and a hard place, making ends meet just to be able to see us. And Brendan's got work. He's been working a lot because he's coming up with ideas for new content. He's getting his own pool room installed at home that we can use eventually, which would be funny because then you'd hear how much, or see and hear how much I suck at pool.
And I'm still playing by that mount, so I can use it at the other.
Yeah, at our regular spot. Normal YouTube content will resume shortly, and one last side note, me and Wyatt have established donations for the team. We have it where you can donate money to us and we can get better equipment, and we'll start thanking donors if they start appearing in each episode of the podcast, if that's what they're donating for, each YouTube video that comes out next. And we're trying to raise money so we can get better equipment, so we can put more focus in this, because this is a project we love doing this stuff. We love getting together, going out, making content for everyone, and if you donate to the cause, that'd be a wonderful thing.
So we
currently have a PayPal set up, and it's currently linked on the feed for our main website for the podcast. I'll leave it in the description, links that somehow work with Spotify, believe it or not.
We also have a Venmo.
We're trying to figure out how to work this stuff because this is our first time trying to donate stuff, and the only other person who's good with setting this stuff up isn't with us, but Wyatt's the financial consultant anyway. So with that, I think that just about fits everything. You got anything else, Wyatt?
No.
I guess that. Then once again, thank you to Jesse and Chan for being our first guest hosts.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
It was great.
Right. This has been Anything and Everything with Team Unnamed. I'm Dev, and this has been Wyatt. We'll see you on the next one. Bye. And Wyatt, I'm still gonna kill you for not finishing.